Yo! Welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat?
You always expect Kuro games to personally break into your house and demand your asterites like rent is due. Instead, you see calm, suspicious calm, almost peaceful. And that is when you realize version 3.2 might be what I like to call a financial recovery patch. Now, word floating around the community suggests that 3.2 is going to be a transition patch, not a massive content explosion, not 5 new systems that require a PhD to understand, not 3 meta-breaking characters fighting for your polls at the same time, just one new limited banner leading the charge. And if this turns out to be true, it actually tells us a lot about where the game is heading. The anniversary is coming soon, and it will be a wishing extravaganza. In this game, the real scale is your ability to use your credit card and unleashing the whale hiding inside of you. Check out my loot bar link down in the description and pinned comment for cheaper than in-game top-ups. Loot Bar offers up to 25% discounts, plus an extra 10% off when you use my link. It is widely used by WuWa players, has strong Trustpilot ratings, and supports DIY top-ups on your PC or mobile, where you get the discounts without sharing your password to do it. If you are looking to top up and save big, Loot Bar is a straightforward and secure way while supporting the channel. Remember to spend responsibly. So, let's get back to it. Let's start with the headline rumor. Segrika is expected to be the only new limited 5-star in the patch. From what people are saying, she is a DPS that scales heavily off echo skill damage. If that sounds niche, that is because it kind of is, and that is not a bad thing. Wuthering Waves has slowly been shifting toward more identity-driven kits. Early game DPS characters were built to be broadly powerful. Newer designs feel more specialized. If Segrika truly leans hard into echo skill damage scaling, that suggests Kuro is comfortable designing characters that reward players who actually build around mechanics instead of just stacking raw stats and calling it a day. Echo skill damage scaling also opens interesting build theory territory. It might push team comps toward characters that can amplify or trigger echo interactions more consistently. If you enjoy min-maxing, this is the kind of design direction that gives you something to chew on instead of just pressing bigger damage buttons. The crazy part of this conversation is that Segrika doesn't have unique tune break mechanics. This means she is more universal compared to recently released units who rely on tune break interactions. The sad part is that she might outperform Quiyuan, who hasn't really seen a lot of action lately. Now here is where things get very convenient. Choi Wen is rumored to rerun alongside Segrika, and apparently he is her best support option. If that pairing is real, it is a very classic Gacha move. Release a character, rerun their best friend at the same time, watch players emotionally and financially spiral.
But from a player perspective, it is actually pretty clean. New players get access to a full, functional core team in one banner window. Veteran players who skipped Choi Wen before now have a very logical reason to pick him up. And if you already haven't built, congratulations! You get to pretend you made a 200 IQ investment months ago. The interesting part is what this implies about future team architecture. If Segrika and Choi Wen are designed to operate as a tightly tuned pair, we might see more micro-synergy duos moving forward. Not full locked teams, but very clearly intended pairings. That is good for game health if balanced properly, because it creates flexible team building without turning every new release into universal power creep. Then we get to the second half of the patch. According to the rumors, Phoebe is the only rerun there, and honestly, that feels very intentional. Phoebe has always been one of those characters that people underestimate until they actually build her correctly. Having her as a solo rerun banner does two things. First, it gives newer players a shot at a very solid unit without competing against 3 other reruns. Second, it keeps the overall patch pull pressure low. And this is where the transition patch concept really shows its face, because if you zoom out, the rumored banner structure is almost polite. One new character, one highly relevant support rerun, one solo rerun in the second half. That is not the behavior of a game trying to drain you right before a major milestone patch. Which brings us to the spending psychology angle. Transition patches are historically where smart players breathe. Not panic pull, not rage swipe, just breathe. If 3.2 really is lighter on events and system-level additions compared to something like 3.1, that also lines up with the idea that the development focus is shifting toward anniversary content. Big patches take resources, new game modes take resources, anniversary celebrations take a lot of resources. Something has to give, and usually it is the patch right before the big celebration. For players, this can be incredibly valuable because gacha games are marathons disguised as sprints. If you blow every resource every patch, you eventually hit a wall where you cannot participate in the biggest events at full capacity. A quieter patch gives you time to stack asterites, finish builds, and mentally reset from the constant release cycle. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the anniversary patch itself. Because if 3.2 is the calm, anniversary is very likely the storm. Based on how Wuthering Waves handled major celebrations before, there is a non-zero chance we see something big. Maybe free selectors, maybe large-scale rerun events, maybe something like a full Rinashita Resonator rerun cycle similar to last year. I'm not saying this is guaranteed, but historically, anniversary patches are where games go all out to bring back lapsed players and reward active ones. Free selectors are especially powerful tools for anniversary events. They let new players fix roster holes instantly, they let veterans grab missed characters or upgrade duplicates, and they generate insane goodwill across the community. Even if it is a limited pool selector, that is still huge. A large rerun wave is also very plausible. Anniversary is the perfect excuse to rotate older characters back into circulation. It refreshes interest in older units, stabilizes the meta, and gives players second chances without waiting a full year. From a business standpoint, it is also extremely smart. Anniversary hype increases player activity. Increased activity increases conversion rates, and if you pair that with generous-looking rewards, players are far more likely to justify spending during the celebration window. Which loops us back to why a lighter 3.2 makes sense. You do not want players burnt out or broke right before your biggest marketing and engagement event of the year. You want them excited. You want them stocked on at least some currency. You want them logging in daily because they feel like something big is coming. There's also a meta-stability argument here. Transition patches can act as soft balance periods. Instead of introducing 3 new meta-defining units at once, you introduce one that nudges team building in a new direction. You let the player base experiment. You collect data. Then you drop the anniversary patch with a clearer understanding of how the current ecosystem is performing. If Segrika really does push Echo skill damage into the spotlight, that could quietly set up future characters that interact with that mechanic in new ways. Maybe future supports amplify Echo damage. Maybe future bosses are designed to reward or punish certain Echo playstyles. These kinds of slow mechanical shifts are usually intentional, not accidental. Now let me be very clear, this is all based on rumors and community chatter. Nothing is official until Kudo says it is official. But even as a theoretical structure, it is a very believable patch philosophy. And honestly, not every patch needs to be a fireworks show. Sometimes you need a patch where you log in, do your dailies, farm your echoes, and log out without feeling like you missed a life-changing event. Those patches keep the game sustainable long-term. If 3.2 ends up being exactly that, it might be one of the healthiest patches for the player base mentally and financially, and then Anniversary can come in swinging like it's supposed to. So if you're planning your pulls, the smartest move might be to think in 2 patch cycles instead of 1. Ask yourself not just, do I want Sigrika, but also, what if Anniversary drops something insane right after this? Because history across multiple gacha games says that is not paranoia, that is pattern recognition. At the end of the day, transition patches are not boring. They're strategic. They're the inhale before the scream. And if you play them right, they can set you up to enjoy the biggest patch of the year without feeling like your wallet just lost a boss fight. And if 3.2 really is a low-pressure patch, maybe take the win. Build your characters, touch grass, stockpile asterites. Because if Anniversary comes in hot, you're going to want every single one of those saved pulls. And if it does not come in hot, then congratulations, you are now financially stable in a gacha game, which might be the rarest achievement of all time. Before we end this video, just a quick word from thee.
Yo, guys, over the last 6 months, I have been genuinely grateful to Loot Bar for supporting this channel and helping keep everything running here. They have been a solid partner, reliable, professional, and honestly very easy and fun to work with. I have personally used their service the entire time and I have never had a single complaint. The process has always been smooth, dependable, and it has helped me save a lot of my own money when it comes to top ups as well. However, like many things in life, some partnerships naturally reach a stopping point, at least for now, right? My overall experience with them has been extremely positive, and I truly appreciate the support they have given both me and this channel. I sincerely hope we get that chance again to work together again in the near future. So, if you already use them and trust them, please feel free to continue using them to save on your Wuthering Waves top ups. Either, you could use them for Wuthering Waves, Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, Arc Knights. It's all there, right? You can use my link down in the description to get your savings. Uh, from my experience, they have been consistently reliable. This also does not mean the channel will stop working with sponsors because we do have a new sponsor coming in. And one of the things they plan to offer is giving away free stuff to my viewers, which is something I have always wanted to bring to this community. So yeah, keep an eye out for that in the coming days. Very, very soon. Thanks, guys. And as always, if this video resonated with you, please leave a like and subscribe. Ring that bell for massive gacha luck and maybe a sandwich. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po. And I will see you in my next video drop. Goodbye!